Hello, in this lecture we'll talk about the structure of the great poem The Night in the Panther Skin. Actually, the poem The Night in the Panther Skin consists of 1669 stanzas. Each stanza consists of 4 rhyming lines, and each line consists of 16 syllables. And the structure of the poem is according to unique poetic form that is called shairi. You have 2 types of shairi. You have marali shairi, that is high shairi, and you have the second type is dabali shairi or low shairi. In marali shairi, as I already mentioned before, each line consists of 16 syllables. And in marali shairi, the 16 syllables are broken into 4 segments of 4 syllables. Each segment consists of 4 syllables. So here, this line consists of 16 syllables, and it is broken to 4 segments: 1, 2, 3, 4. And each segment consists of 4 syllables. That is to say, we have 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4 syllables. So the line is broken into 4 segments, that each segment consists of 4 syllables. And we have here a break after the second segment, a break or comma. And in the dabali shairi or low shairi, the line that consists of 16 syllables, the lines are also broken into 4 segments, as you can see here: 1, 2, 3, 4. And the segments are consist of 5 plus 3 plus 5 plus 3 syllables. That is to say, the first segment consists of 5 syllables, the second segment consists of 3 syllables, the third segment consists of 5 syllables, and finally the fourth segment consists of 3 syllables. And we have a comma or a break after the second segment here. Okay? And the great poet Shotostavelli used the shairi, both types of shairi, marali shairi and also dabali shairi, in its great poem The Night in the Panther Skin. Okay? And also have to clarify 2 concepts of fast pace and slow pace. What is fast pace? Actually, whenever you have in the stanza, when the stanza talks about things that occurred during a long period of time, for example 1 year or 2 years, then the pace of the stanza is fast. Okay? And what is slow pace? Slow pace is when the poet expresses and describes feelings or when you have in the stanza metaphors, or if the poet quotes the things that one character tells to another character from the poem, quoting things, if you're always in the slow pace. Okay, so we have either if the poet describes feelings, or if we have in the stanza metaphors, or if the stanza quotes the things that someone tells to someone else, then it is also will be a slow pace. Okay, we summarize it. If you have, if the poet describes feelings, or you have metaphors, or you have the quoting of any character, the things that a character tells to another character from the poem, then it always will be in the slow pace. And I repeat again that in the fast pace, the stanza describes, talks about things that happened during a long period of time. Okay, so if the pace of the plot is fast, then the structure of the 16 syllables in each line will be 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4, or in other words, we can say that the line is broken into 4 segments of 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4, and we have a comma or a break after the second segment. Okay, so if the pace of the plot is fast, then the structure of the 16 syllables are 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4, and the rhyming will be on the last word, or on the last 2 syllables of the last word in each line. Okay, so you take the last word in each line, and the last 2 syllables in each line will be rhymed. Okay, I repeat again, in the fast pace, the structure of the 16 syllables will be 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4, and the rhyming will be on the last 2 syllables of the last word in each line. And fast pace is when in the stanza you actually talks about things that happen during a long period of time. While if the pace of the plot is slow, then the rhyming, then the structure of the 16 syllables in each line will be 5 plus 3 plus 5 plus 3, and the rhyming will be on the last 3 syllables of the last word in each line. And I repeat again that slow pace is when the stanza will be in a slow pace, when the poet describes feelings, or you have a metaphor in the stanza, or if the stanza quotes, in the stanza you have the quoting of some character, the things that some character said to another character, then in all those three cases, the pace of the plot will be slow, and therefore the structure of the 16 syllables will be 5 plus 3 plus 5 plus 3, and the rhyming will be on the last 3 syllables of the last word in each line. Okay? So, and we have another characteristic of this great poem, The Night in the Panther Skin, that the poet repeats at least on the last 3 letters of the last word in each line. Okay, I repeat again. Another characteristic of the poem is the poet repeats at least on the last 3 letters of the last word in each line. That is to say, it is at least, repeats at least on the last 3 letters of the last word. That is to say, it can repeat on 5 letters of the last word, 6 letters, 7 letters, etc., etc. Okay? So in the next step, I will present to you a couple of examples in order to clarify all the concepts that I presented here. Okay? So we'll start with stanza 802 from part of chapter 11, and chapter 11 is about the testament of Avtandil to King Osteban when he stole away. Avtandil is the commander of the Arab armies, and King Osteban is the king of Arabia, and the commander of the Arab armies, Avtandil, tells to King, it is the quoting of the things that Avtandil tells to King Osteban, and whenever you have a quoting in the stanza, then it is automatically in the slow pace. It is the Bali Shairi or low Shairi. That is to say, the structure of the 16 syllables in its line will be 5 plus 3 plus 5 plus 3, and the rhyming will be on the last 3 syllables of the last word in each line. Okay? So in stanza 802, Avtandil tells to King Osteban that if something very bad will occur to him during his journey to India to meet his friend Tariel, and he will be killed, and no one can find his body, then Avtandil asks from King Osteban that King Osteban mourn his death, and will say good things, will mention his name in a good manner. Okay, so I read the stanza 802 in the translation to English, then I read it in the original language, in the Georgian language, and then we analyze this stanza 802. So the translation to English of stanza 802 is as follows: If fate, the destroyer of all, destroy me, an orphan I shall die, traveling unmourned by parent, nor will those who brought me up, nor the friend whom I trust enshroud me, Then indeed, will you, merciful tender heart, have pity on me. Okay, those are the things that Tandil told to King Osterman before he got to his journey to India to meet his friend Tariel. Now I read this stanza 802 in the original language and we'll analyze the stanza. Stanza 802 in the original language is as follows: Tu sachut roman damam chos, ovelta damam chobelman, Garibi mokde garibat, verdami tiros chobelman, verar shem sudron dazrilta, da verza misan dobelman, munshem mitzralos tchenman ve, pulman motzalem lobelman. Okay, so here the first two words of line number 1 are tu, sachut roman. Tu consists of one syllable, sachut roman consists of 4 syllables, so in total those two words, tu, sachut roman, consist of 5 syllables. Then we have the third word of line number 1 in stanza 802 is da mam chos. It consists of 3 syllables. Then the next two words are ovelta da mam. Ovelta consists of 3 syllables and da mam consists of 2 syllables. In total those two words consist of 5 syllables. And finally we have Obelman. Obelman consists of 3 syllables. So in conclusion, you can say that line number 1 is broken into 4 segments of 5 plus 3 plus 5 plus 3 syllables, and the rhyming is on the last 3 syllables of the last word in each line. That is to say, Obelman, 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 and Obelman. Okay? And the poet repeats on the last 7 letters of the last word in each line. What is the last word of line number 1? The last word of line number 1 is Damam Hobelman. The word Damam Hobelman consists of 13 letters, and the poet repeats on Obelman, 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 and Obelman. And Obelman consists of 7 letters as follows: O, B, A, L, M, A, and N. Okay? Then, so in all the 4 lines, the repetition is on the last 7 letters of the last word. For example, in line number 2, the last word is Shobelman. The word Shobelman consists of 8 letters, and the repetition, the word Shobelman consists of 9 letters, and the repetition is on the last 7 letters. Obelman, that is to say, O, B, A, L, M, A, and N. And likewise, the last word of line number 3 is Misan Dobelman. Misan Dobelman consists of 13 letters. It consists of 13 letters, and the repetition is on Obelman, O, B, A, L, M, A, and N. And finally, the last word of line number 4 is very long word, most Alem Lobelman, and the poet repeats on Obelman, that is to say, on the letters O, B, A, L, M, A, and N, in total 7 letters. Okay? And the first 2 words of line number 2 are Garibi. It consists of 3 syllables. Then the second word is Mowde. It consists of 2 syllables. In total, those 2 words, Garibi Mowde, consist of 5 syllables. Then we have the first word of line number 2 is Raribat. Raribat consists of 3 syllables. And then we have the next 2 words are Ver Damitiros. Ver consists of 1 syllable. Damitiros consists of 4 syllables. So in total, those 2 words, Ver Damitiros, consist of 5 syllables. And finally, we have Shobelman. Consists of 3 syllables, of course. This is Obelman. So in conclusion, you can say that the line number 2 is broken into 4 segments of 5 plus 3 plus 5 plus 3 syllables, and the rhyming is on the last 3 syllables of the last word. The last word of line number 2 is Shobelman, and the rhyming is on the last 3 syllables of this word, that is to say Obelman. And as I already mentioned before, the repetition is on the last 7 letters. Actually, Obelman consists of the letters O, B, A, L, M, A, and N. Then we have in line number 3, the first 2 words are Veral. It consists of 2 syllables. Then the second word of line number 3 is Shem Sudron. It consists of 3 syllables. In total, Veral Shem Sudron consists of 5 syllables. Then we have Daz Dilta. It consists of 3 syllables. Then we have the words Da Verza Misand. Da consists of 1 syllable, Verza consists of 2 syllables, and Misand consists of 2 syllables, so it is 1 plus 2 plus 2, that is 5 syllables. So the first segment consists of 5 syllables, and finally we have Obelman, that consists of 3 syllables. So in conclusion, line number 3 is broken into 4 segments of 5 plus 3 plus 5 plus 3 syllables, and rhyming is on the last 3 syllables of the last word. The last word of line number 3 is Dobelman, and the rhyming is on Obelman, the last 3 syllables, and the repetition is on the last 7 letters, that is to say O, B, A, L, M, A, and N. And finally, in line number 4, we have the first 2 words are Moon. It consists of 1 syllable. She, Mis, Alos. It consists of 4 syllables. In total, Moon, She, Mis, Alos consists of 5 syllables. Then the third word of line number 4 is Quen Manbe. It, of course, consists of 3 syllables. Then we have the next 2 words are Gulman Motzale. Gulman consists of 2 syllables. Motzale consists of 3 syllables. So the third segment of line number 4 consists of 5 syllables in total. And finally, we have Obelman. It consists, of course, of 3 syllables. So, in conclusion, line number 4 of stanza 802 is broken into 4 segments of 5 plus 4, plus 5 plus 4, 5 plus 3, plus 5 plus 3 syllables. and the rhyming is on the last three syllables, that is to say Obelman, and the repetition is on the seven letters as follows: O, B, A, L, M, A, and N. Okay, so in conclusion, you can say that in standard 802 it's built according to the structure of the Bali Shairi, low Shairi, because of the fact that in standard 802 the poet quotes the things that Avtandil told to King Rostamon. When you quote things, then it is automatically will be the Bali Shairi, it is slow pace. And for that reason, the structure of the 16 syllables in each line is 5 plus 3 plus 5 plus 3. The rhyming is on the last three syllables of the last word in each line, that is to say Obelman, 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 and Obelman, and the repetition is on the last seven letters of the last word in each line. As I already mentioned before, the letters are as follows: O, B, A, L, M, A, and N. Okay, so we finished in standard 802. Now we will focus on standard 791. Standard 791, it is an aphorism about love. What is an aphorism? Aphorism is a concise statement that expresses general truth, principle, or sentiment. And standard 791 talks about aphorism about love. Okay, so usually whenever you have an aphorism, actually in the poem you have more than 200 aphorisms and different topics. We have love, brotherhood, and so on. Usually whenever you have an aphorism in the poem, it is automatically will be in a fast pace or maral shairi, and therefore the structure of the 16 syllables in each line will be 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4, and the rhyming will be on the last two syllables of the last word in each line. But we have actually also exceptions. You can also find aphorism that are in the Bali Shairi in a slow pace, and therefore the structure of the 16 syllables on those aphorisms will be 5 plus 3 plus 5 plus 3, and the rhyming will be on the last three syllables of the last word in each line. Okay? So, but stanza 791, it is not an exception, and therefore the structure of the 16th, it is according to the Marani Shairi, it is in a fast pace, and therefore the structure of the 16 syllables in each line will be 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4, and the rhyming will be on the last two syllables of the last word in each line. Okay, so I read standard 791 in the translation to English, then I read it in the original English, and we'll analyze this standard 791. Okay, so the translation to English is as follows: Thou hast read how the apostles write of love, how they speak of it, how they praise it. Know thou it and harmonize thy knowledge. Love exalteth us. This is as it were the tinkling burden of their song. If thou conceive not this, how can I convince ignorant men? Okay. So in the next step, I will read this stanza in the original language and we'll analyze it. So stanza 791 in the original language is as follows. צגיק איתך סירווה רולסה מוציא כולני רגבר צרן ותתריין ותקבן צאן צנובני מהפרן סירווה רולי אגווה מגלבס ותשגואני אמס שגרן שנל ג'רחר וסתבלל לקרצני ותפצע שבע ג'רן. Okay, so the first word of line number 1 is tzagikitchas. It consists of 4 syllables. The second word is sirvaruli, sirvarulsa. It also consists of 4 syllables. The third word of line number 1 of stanza 791 is motsikulni. It also consists of 4 syllables. And finally, the last 2 words of line number 1 are ragwar, it consists of 2 syllables, tseren, it also consists of 2 syllables. So in total, those 2 last words of line number 1, ragwar tseren, consist of 4 syllables. So in conclusion, you can say that the structure of the 16 syllables in line number 1 are 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4. The line is broken into 4 segments of 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4 syllables. And the rhyming is on the last 2 syllables of the last word in each line. That is to say, eren, 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 and eren. And the repetition is on the last 4 letters of the last word in each line. You can see it here. The last word of line number 1 is tseren. Tseren consists of 5 letters, and the repetition is on the last 4 letters, eren. Eren consists of 4 letters as follows: A, R, A, and N. The last word of line number 2 is mi, a, peren. This word consists of 8 letters, and the repetition is on the last 4 letters, that is to say, A, R, A, and N. The last word of line number 3 of stanza 791 is reren. The word reren consists of 6 letters, and the repetition is on the last 4 letters, that is to say, A, R, and N. And finally, the last word of line number 4 is shevajeren. Shevajeren consists of 9 letters, and again the repetition is on the last 4 letters of this word shevajeren, that is to say, A, R, A, and N. Okay, so in conclusion, the repetition is on the last 4 letters of the last word in each line, that is to say, the letters A, R, A, and N. And the rhyming is on the last 2 syllables of the last word in each line, that is to say, eren, 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 and eren. Then the first 2 words of line number 2 are vit, itrian. Vit consists of 1 syllable, itrian consists of 3 syllables. In total, those 2 words consist of 4 syllables. Then the next 2 words of line number 2 are vit, akeben. Vit consists of 1 syllable, akeben consists of 3 syllables. In total, those 2 words, vit, akeben, consist of 4 syllables. Okay, then the next 2 words of line number 2 are tsan, snobani. Tsan consists of 1 syllable, snobani consists of 3 syllables. In total, those 2 words, tsan, snobani, consist of 4 syllables. And finally, the last word of line number 2 of standard 791 is mi aperen. The word mi aperen consists of 5 syllables, consists of 4 syllables, mi aperen, and the repetition and the rhyming is on eren, but in conclusion you can say that line number 2 is broken into 4 segments, so 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4 syllables. Each segment consists of 4 syllables, and rhyming is on the last 2 syllables of the last word mi aperen, that is to say on eren. Then we have the first word of line number 3 is sir varuli. It consists of 4 syllables. The second word of line number 3 of standard 791 is av wa mar lebs. It also consists of 4 syllables. Then the next 2 words of line number 3 are vit, ejwani. Vit consists of 1 syllable, ejwani consists of 3 syllables. So those 2 words, vit, ejwani, in total consist of 4 syllables. And finally, the last 2 words of line number 3 are amas, jreren. Amas consists of 2 syllables, jreren consists also of 2 syllables. So in total, those 2 words, amas, jreren, consist of 4 syllables. In conclusion, you can say that line number 4 and line number 3 is broken into 4 segments, so 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4 syllables. Each segment consists of 4 syllables. Okay, and again, the rhyming is on the last 2 syllables, that is to say eren, and I already mentioned before that the repetition is on the last 4 letters of the last word in each line, that is to say A, R, A, and N. And finally, in line number 4, we have the first 4 words are shen, al, jer, har. Each word consists of 1 syllable. Therefore, in total, they consist of 4 syllables. Then we have osh, tzav, lel, ni. The 5th word of line number 4 consists of 4 syllables. Then we have the next 2 words are katzni, vitpsa. Katzni consists of 2 syllables. Vitpsa also consists of 2 syllables. In total, the 3rd segment of line number 4 consists of 4 syllables. And finally, the last word of line number 4 is she, va, jeren. It consists of 4 syllables. So, in conclusion, you can say that the structure of the 16 syllables in line number 4 are 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4, and the rhyming is on the last 2 syllables of the last word in each line, that is to say eren, and the repetition is on the last 4 letters of this last word, sheva, jeren, that is to say A, R, A, and N. So, in conclusion, standard 791 is an aphorism about love, and usually, whenever you have aphorism, it will be in a fast pace or marali shairi. That is to say, the structure of the syllables in each line will be 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4, and the rhyming will be on the last 2 syllables of the last word in each line. But as I mentioned before, we have also exceptions to this rule. Okay, so we finished with standard 791. The next step I present to you standard number 2. This great poem, The Night in the Panther Skin, have prologue and epilogue. The prologue is an introduction. Introduction to the poem. It is not part of the story of the poem, and so is the epilogue. When the story of the poem ends, then we have epilogue that is also not part of the story of the poem, and because of the fact that epilogue is addition to the poem. It is not something that you can write the poem without the prologue and epilogue, and therefore it will be in the double shairi or low shairi, and it will be in a slow pace, and therefore the structure of the 16 syllables in each line will be 5 plus 3 plus 5 plus 3. Actually, another reason that it is in a slow pace and the double shairi is because of the simple fact that the poet quotes himself. The poet quotes the things that he prays to God. So he quotes his prayer to God. And whenever you have a quote in the poem, it will be automatically in the double shairi and in the slow pace. So stanza number 2, that is part of the prologue. The poet praises God that created the universe, then he asks from God to protect him from that God will give him mastery to trample on Satan, and that God protect him from Satan, and he also asks from God that God will give him the longing of lovers lasting until the death, and he asks from God to lighten the sins that he must bear with him. So, as I already mentioned before, because of the fact that the poet actually quotes himself, and whenever you have a quoting in the poem, it will be in the slow pace. For that reason, the structure of the 16 syllables in each line will be 5 plus 3 plus 5 plus 3, and the rhyming will be on the last 3 syllables of the last word in each line. Okay, so I read the stanza in the translation to English, then I read it in the original language, and we will only see on how many letters of the last word the poet repeats. Okay, so stanza number 2 in the translation to English is as follows. O one God, thou didst create the face of every form. Shield me, give me mastery to trample on Satan. Give me the longing of lovers lasting even unto death. Lightening of the burden of sins I must bear thither with me. Okay, now I already explained you the context of this stanza. Now I will read it in the original language, and we'll see how many letters of the last word the poet repeats. So, stanza number 2, this is part of the prologue in the original language, is as follows. Merto, shen men sacher ovli satanisa, shen dami pare, zleva mec dat kunvad me satanisa, momec vidju tasurili, siglid me ga satanisa, cod vatan shesubukeva muntana za satanisa. So as I mentioned before, I will not repeat here on every word of the stanza. I already mentioned that it is in a slow pace, therefore the structure the syllables in each line are 5 plus 3 plus 5 plus 3, and the rhyming is on the last 3 syllables of the last word in each line. So we'll see it now. The last word of line number 1 is Tanisa. Tanisa is body. Actually here the rhyming is on 3 syllables, that is to say Tanisa, it consists of 3 syllables. So here the rhyming is on Tanisa, Tanisa, Tanisa and Tanisa. Why? Because in line number 2, for example, the last word is Satanisa. It consists of 4 syllables, and the rhyming is only on the last 3 syllables, that is to say Tanisa. Likewise, the last word of line number 3 consists of 5 syllables, Gasa Tanisa, and the rhyming is on the last 3 syllables, that is to say Tanisa. And finally, the last word of line number 4 is Satanisa. The word Satanisa consists of also 5 syllables, Satanisa. The rhyming is on the last 3 syllables, that is to say Tanisa. Okay. Now we'll see on how many letters of the last word in each line the poet repeats. The last word of line number 1 is Tanisa. Here you can see that the poet repeats on the entire letters of this word Tanisa, on all those words, on all the letters of this word Tanisa. That is to say T-A-N-E-S and A, in total 6 letters. And the same thing you can see in line number 2, the last word is Satanisa, and the poet repeats on the last 6 letters of this word, that is to say T-A-N-E-S and A. Likewise, the last word of line number 3 is Gasatanisa, and the poet repeats on the letters T-A-N-E-S and A. And finally, the last word of line number 4 is Tasatanisa, and the poet repeats on the letters T-A-N-E-S and A. So in conclusion, you can say that, so in total it is 6 letters. Okay, so in conclusion, you can say that standard number 2 is according to the Balishari, because of the fact that the poet quotes himself, quotes the prayer that he pray to God, also praises God. Therefore, it will be, whenever quoting the standard, it will be automatically in the slow pace, the Balishari. Therefore, the structure of the 16 syllables in each line is 5 plus 3 plus 5 plus 3, and the rhyming is on the last 3 syllables of the last word in each line, that is to say Tanisa, 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 and Tanisa, and the repetition is on the last 6 letters of the last word in each line. The repetition is on Tanisa, and actually the word Tanisa consists of the letters T, A, N, E, S, and A, in total 6 letters. Okay? So, actually, the great poet, Rudolf Savelli, succeeded to combine all those characteristics in his poem, and you can read and enjoy this great poem, The Night in the Panther Skin, that was translated to 55 languages, and it is considered that as one of the most genius poems that was written by mankind. Okay, thank you very much.